was about to put the belt onto the pulleys and the tensioner and things like this, and I noticed when I was pulling back on the tensioner and it was moving a bit. I understand now. There's no threads in there. Well, there was, but when I moved it and I started to tighten up the bolt, it started to move. So the threads are on the way. So we're going to do a helicoil. And this is a lovely little set to get. Made in China, wherever that is. And it's got everything in here that we need. And it was cheap. I think it was about $30. Don't go around buying those very expensive sets. For a set for the price of one unit here, because we need an M10, you could get all the lot for the price of one unit downtown. So we need a little helicoil out the packet. We need this thing. I'll show you what that works out later. There's the tap, very tight, and also the correct size drill. So you're not looking around for bits and pieces. Now we'll obviously need a tap wrench, but we've got that covered. But first of all, in this handy little container there, we'll put all our gear. Like that, look. And we're going to drill out. When I find my drill, what have I done with it? Oh, it's here. We've got that. Drill that out. Now I've got this on low speed because I don't want to sort of go through the head. Oh, you can see there's a little bit of thread in the back. Right, you've got to get this square. Right. Oh, there's a bit more I could go through. There we go. I already put a little bit of oil on that, so it wasn't too bad. I'll go and get my tap wrench. Right, back again. Now it is a bit of a tricky place to get to, but what I did was I bought this extended tap wrench, and it's been really handy for things like this because you can get in. So we're going to put a little bit of oil on that. The principle of oil is to help cutting and also make sure the bits and pieces stick to it. And we're just going to get that as square as possible and then turn it back. Turn it back. You turn it back to break the little spirals that's coming off from cutting. Makes it a lot easier. Just keep turning it back and make a lovely thread. This saves hours of taking all this unit apart. I can't understand why when they did this design from Land Rover they didn't put like a bolt in instead of like a stud into aluminium. It's a cracker's idea. If they'd have cast like a place to put a hex bolt in, would have been a lot better. No, I don't know. Just keeping an eye on my oil can. Now it's going to fall down. Steady away. There, we hit the bottom there. Hit rock bottom. There we go, and you can see the oil has got the bits have stuck to the oil. Now the next thing we need is an airline. Watch your eyes. That's that. Now, this is the important bit. When you put these helicoils on, well, it's not a helicoil, it's a thread inserter, but you can see it's got a ring there with a little Allen bolt in it, a grub screw in it. Now you can adjust this depending on the length that you need to go to, because when you put your helicoil on like that, it needs a stop behind it. If you didn't have that stop and you just had a helicoil on, as you're winding it you can actually jump the thread, so this keeps it in place. So when we put our helicoil in, all we do is simply put a little bit of pressure this way, wind it in like that, pull that out. See, it's under flush now because you've gone up to that shoulder, and that's where this little jibbly jobbly thing here comes in. You're supposed to hit it, I think. Well, it may not hit because it's at the end of a blind hole. There we go. It's me, weak. Gone in the casting. It's not the end of the world. Now the reason why we break that off is because when we put the stud back in here, we don't want the end of this bolt here hitting that tang and unravelling the helicoil. So we're going to now put this back in here like that. So now we're going to put a couple of M10 nuts on. We're going to nip them together, lock them together like that, and then we can tighten that bolt in. That stud, just like that. Back off the nuts, and that stud is now nice and firmly in place. Get the unit, put it on. Oh, put a bit of thread guard on because I had a hell of a job trying to get this off, and I think that's what happened. The stud was seized into the bushing here, and I think as I was trying to take it off it ripped the threads out, or something happened anyway, or it made it soft. It did turn, but not very successfully. There we go. Get the belt this side of that. I didn't put a new belt on because the old belt was fine. And we'll put a bit of thread guard on there. On the end of that. There. Get through a lot of thread guard. Doesn't matter what you use, copper slip or anything really. And then we'll tighten that down to 45 Newton meters. Right, 45 Newton meters. We're doing just with a little 3/8, so we're not going to use the great big 1/2 inch bar on this one. No need. Not much of a lockness, is it? Still, it's better than nothing. There we go. I'll be worried about it for a minute. So now we can put the belt on.